When it comes to singles / music videos in this case, released as fanfare for a soon-to-be debuting project, I really felt that Skin on My Teeth provided an excellent arrival for Demi Lovato's newest album. I found it was reasonable to assume going in that it would be, given this is Demi Lovato we're talking about, who in my opinion is one of the most talented Hollywood musical starlets working in the industry today. I've been a fan for a long time, since the Disney Channel days, and Demi Lovato has a very recognizable voice and talent that I have not really forgotten about, and I've loved listening to. Again, like I've stated, I've been a fan for a long while. And I really felt that Skin on My Teeth was not just, a great debut track from her, but was a very strong song that really took me aback on just how good it was, and maybe what it alludes to in anticipation for this album. Not only was the track good on its own merits, and the music video as well. The music video really helped, I think, embolden the overall message of the piece, which is something that Demi Lovato has been doing a lot lately in her music, really evoking personal and relatable trials and tribulations from experiences that we're very familiarized if you follow, the news and different media headlines, or even, Demi Lovato's documentaries. At this point, a lot of us are very well aware of the hardship that Demi's experienced through her many years of fame and stardom. And with that, of course, oftentimes for many celebrities it's a destructive cycle. But it's really empowering thing to listen to how far, as again, Skin on My Teeth was witness to in terms of message, how far Demi's come as a person, but also the track itself, which is really good on a musical level. As somebody who is very specifically a metalhead and a rock fan, I really liked the style of the song in the genre, which also evoked, for me at least, a nostalgic feeling going back to Demi Lovato's earlier days in her music career with Don't Forget, which was still such a good album. I still have it on my phone. It's such a signature compilation. But I really felt that song and the rock flavor to it was just so strong and beautiful, at least on a first listen. I'm wondering how this is going to fare in terms of this new track called Substance. Is it going to be consistent that we maintain this rock sound, or is it going to kind of more venture into the territory of pop, which Demi Lovato's done a lot in her past with other albums? I'm wondering to see if there's consistency. In fact, this is a track that follows Skin of My Teeth, so we'll have to see if the energy is maintained. But either way, new song, new music video. I'm definitely looking forward to looking to a new piece of Demi Lovato's work, as well as, just music overall. For those of you who are familiar with this channel, and you've been, watching for a long time and a regular viewer, you know that I tend to cover different entertainment ventures much more regularly, especially within the visual space than I have with musical coverage. But music, for me, music coverage has been something that I've always wanted to do, not just because it's one of my probably top favorite artistic forms to consume, but music for me, just as, Skin on My Teeth is a very personal song and a very relatable one, I felt that, based on not just my overall feelings, but general feedback to that song that I could see from, fans and listeners, that personal journey really resonated with a lot of people. That's what I find is really strong within music, and it's something I've wanted to talk about more on this channel, because music for me has been such a vital part of my life, not just as a favored artistic form, but it's just been such a helpful agent in the way that I've grown and functioned over time. Music for me is very much a first love, and it's been closer to my life, in fact, than many of my personal relationships happen to be. So it's something that is very specific in the way that I've matured over time, and I've really wanted to explore an artistic form that oftentimes you find so much creativity and talent in much more deeply, whether they be from, of course, I'd love to cover smaller artists, maybe the lesser known ones, to help elevate maybe their prominence if I see that's a need, but also I like to cover, maybe more well-known artists, because sometimes you can find talent from artists that everybody is very familiar with, and Demi Lovato certainly fits that mold. So we have a new song called Substance. I've previewed the lyrics. Of course, we're going to be looking at the music video in association with the song. I have previewed it, and the song itself, like I was saying, music for me is a very personal thing in terms of my love for it and just how vital it's been to my life. That energy is in the song as well, if you read the lyrics. And of course, I'll pull those up for your convenience as we watch the video together. Let's see where Substance goes. I'm going to go ahead and cue this up. We can enjoy this for the first time together. I love doing music coverage, and Demi Lovato's music videos are a lot of fun to watch. And if the quality matches what was previous with Skin on My Teeth, this will also be a very strong debut, I'm sure, with substance. To be clear, though, just on minor note, I have seen the trailer that debuted for this music video and the song, so I'm a little well aware of the sound of it, at least in part. It sounded like it had that rock nature to it, and the music video had an interesting quality. So I've seen at least a semblance of a clip, but as far as the full music video goes, this is my first impression. I love doing music coverage. Without further ado, here we go. New song from Demi Lovato. Don't fall. It's a gentle rock line. I like it. That's strong. Very strong measures here. It's a little more gentle in terms of style than Skin on My Teeth was, but it's good. It's like a rock ballad mix. The vocals on that are just, they're perfectly placed. No. We all have our moments, right? Just like Skin on My Teeth, very relatable message. This is very strong. Ah, it's good. That track happens, it sounds really fast. It's interesting because if you look at the runtime of Skin on My Teeth, it's about the same, just about 2 seconds more. The video, I think, is a little longer. Was it? Maybe by a couple seconds, I think. But this is basically the same length. 2 minutes and 42 seconds with Skin on My Teeth, 2 minutes and 40 seconds with Substance. So, but the pacing makes it sound a lot shorter. There's that illusion as you listen to the song that because of the speed of the tempo and how fast the song breezes by, they're like, we barely spend any time with the piece. And you kind of want maybe to continue a little longer, even though the song is 2 minutes and 40 seconds, so just shy of 3 minutes. But it's like average length for a substantially fulfilling song. But the tempo really, again, I think it adds not just to really livens the piece up in terms of maintaining that rock energy. And it is a bit softer than Skin on My Teeth, to be fair. Skin on My Teeth is a little more aggressive, but it's got a classic rock and roll feel that's very engaging. It's a very happy song in terms of the sound, even if maybe the lyrics are a bit more tragic when you read them over. But I would say between the two tracks, this easily matches in lyrical substance. I mean, the track is, of course, strong on its own. The message is similar, even though I would say it's less direct. And maybe the video helps this compared to Skin on My Teeth, visibly alluding to Demi Lovato's very public struggles with substance abuse and physical abuse even. I thought the video, again, like I said, the lyric on its own, very well worded, but the video helped amplify the message through some really troublesome imagery, but a very realistic portrayal that I think really helped the music, the theme of the song just set in and just ingrain itself when you're listening to it. It's, again, a very strong first piece. But Substance is a bit different. It's less direct in the presentation. I'd say maybe the partying style kind of alludes to where the lyrics were going. But it also, refers to, and this is kind of my question, even though, at least first when I saw the name of the track, I'm like, okay, substance, is that referring to substance abuse? That's a component here. But I think it's more broadly just dealing with somebody who's dealing with the chaos of life, of living in an imperfect world and coming to terms with the destruction that we're all very aware of that comes in, forms, whether they be contrary or similar to each one of us, and the different struggles we've all faced in life. I really like the way it's worded, though. So like I said, in part, it's very direct in alluding to the substance abuse problems, like in the chorus. Even though, again, it's referring to that larger theme of, what's the value of life, especially from someone looking at life in the midst of brokenness. And that's something I think we've all endured, to, again, whatever context that might be, that in moments of hardship, that we're like, what is the point, right? Or where's the higher destination of where I can go from here amid all the baggage that I'm enduring right now and carrying with me. And I think it's very well articulated in regard to Demi Lovato's perspective on it with the chorus. It's very personalized. Am I the only one looking for substance? And like I said, with the direct correlation to substance abuse, got high and only left me lonely and loveless. That's beautifully written. It's tragic. Don't want to end up in a casket head full of maggots. Very visual. And that's a really strong piece of writing. I would imagine that, over the course of the album, that's going to also continue. But that really sticks with you, in my opinion. That's a very strong chorus. And it is helped by Demi Lovato's vocals. I'll get to that in a minute, because there's something kind of interesting I wanted to bring up with it. But I think the message is very relevant. Like skin on my teeth, I think it's going to set in with a lot of people. Because we've all dealt with those questions that I said of life. What's the point amid, dealing with hardship and challenges and obstacles that may oftentimes, some might not even be of our own making. They might be inflicted on by other people or our surrounding environments. Or maybe they are just, extensions of ourselves that over time, they're just, they become strongholds that we can't easily break. And, reading this as a Christian, my life's certainly not perfect. I still live in brokenness, even if maybe, I have that vision of maybe the value of life based on my faith. But I'm not immune, to the destruction that life brings. In fact, in many ways, I'm living in the midst of it. Different contexts. I've never dealt with substance abuse, but I have all the empathy in the world for someone who does, because I understand from, people that I'm in the circles of and people, in my family, I'm very well aware that substance abuse creates a lot of hardship, not just for, people themselves directly, but in their own relationships with other people as well. I think it's very strongly written. I think the piece will speak to a lot of people. And I think, on a musical level, as I said, it fits with that rock nature that seems to be a mainstay on this album, at least as it's being established. I don't know if that'll be continued again through all the tracks. It might be like other rock groups, there's a general mix, right? Some tracks might go more in a ballad direction. Others might, maybe with still a bit of a higher energy. Others might go along the lines of Substance, the Skin on My Teeth, and match that in tone. But, the song itself is very good. Demi Lovato's vocals, of course, signature. When she sings Got High, that really stuck with me. And the transitions from going in and out of that with the chorus really work. But when she raises her pitch, on those two words, it just really worked for me. And then matching that again with a classic rock and roll tune, I just think it's really solid. And the piece itself, good cinematography as well with the video. Very frenetic energy to the video as well. Like things being thrown out, someone got a pie in the face. It's like, well, that's the chaos of life expressed in this song, right? That you have somebody, or in this case, the narrator, looking at life being like, what's the point amid, my broken situation? From whatever context it might be. You might personalize it reading those lyrics as substance abuse, or maybe you can, like me, take music into account and some internally vary the message to best suit where you're at, if you find yourself being in that position. But the video itself, I think, is very interestingly filmed. I kept that as clean as I could, because I have younger viewers, so I try to keep that in consideration when I display content, right? So I'm making it accessible as much as I can to everybody. But the video itself, I thought was very well filmed, and the frenetic energy of the cinematography was a good pairing with where the song is. And it kind of evoked at least a similarity to many other rock groups I've seen over the years, use that type of style. especially for music I think of, in my youth, with like classic rock. I don't know. I think about this. There's a bit of an energy to it too that for me evokes. I grew up on Christian music, so these are kind of the bands that I think of immediately. Watching this, I'm like, there's that. I don't know. Because the piece itself, they're kind of similar. Even on the color scheme of some of the videos, Reliant K and 1107 especially came to mind with MySpace. Have you ever heard that? That was like an old hit back like in the early 2000s. But that kind of came to mind as I was watching this. Not just in the cinematography style, but the visual presentation as well. But the visual presentation to me was very reminiscent of something you see, especially like in like art house indie type entertainment. Again, I cover more visual stuff on this channel in terms of the entertainment industry, so that's what first comes to mind. I'd say for this. Easily the Hyperions came to mind in the visual style, in Fabric as well. There's just there's a feeling this is sort of, again, like, it just didn't feel as mainstream, and I appreciate that. I like originality and entertainment, so for me this kind of came across as a bit more specialized and creative and focused. I don't know, it was interesting. I see the originality of the piece in perhaps how it departs from many other types of entertainment demonstrations, whether they be specific to one artist or the industry as a whole. I don't know, it's just something that stuck out to me. Maybe it didn't as much as you, but you're sitting there being like, you just need to watch more music videos and films to be like, well, okay, maybe this is a little more normal. I don't know, just, again, something that I notice. It's not an energy that I oftentimes see. Especially in a lot of music videos, like I don't see this type of indie overlay that often, or something that's so obvious within like the art house market in terms of films and other music videos. I would imagine too, maybe from artists I'm unfamiliar with. But also just listening to it, the music of the piece just really evoked a feeling to me of some of the older music I used to listen to. Now when I watch this, I'm thrown back in that moment to earlier pieces from my childhood. But it's a good song. Another good addition to the album, in my opinion. I appreciate it quite a bit. To me, it's as strong, I think, as Skin on My Teeth. Even if maybe Skin on My Teeth, as I said, was more direct in its message, with the video as an addition. I think this one was kind of, it had a fun nature to it. Not just from the sound of the song, even if maybe the lyrics, again, were dealing with some very deep themes and considerations. But just, the overall quality to it made it a bit of an endearing video, in my opinion. Made it easily approachable. A very warm style. It's interesting. Entertaining watch. I'm interested to see more that comes in the way of Demi Lovato's newest album. But what are your guys' thoughts on this new song? Maybe you like Skin on My Teeth more. Or maybe you like this song more. I'd love to hear your opinion down below. And if there are any other tracks to be released subsequently, of course I'll give them consideration in regards to covering them on this channel. I really like listening to Demi Lovato. I've been a fan for a long time. And as a side note, I will say I've been trying to broaden out my music coverage substantially with many rock, not just rock groups, primarily rock groups, but other artists out there. If you're interested, I'm still need to work on actually getting content ready, but I'm planning to unveil a channel in January, a new channel in terms of the new year. It's going to be called Symphonies and Small Talk, and it's going to allow me to touch on music that in this channel, both of these channels are going to be linked, and that this channel is more first impression reaction based to new music that I'm more unfamiliar with in regard to specific tunes. Even though I'm familiar with Demi Lovato, I wasn't familiar with Substance going in terms of full track listen. Symphonies and Small Talk is going to allow me to broaden out my coverage of music and not only talking about songs from a first impression, but also songs that have really resonated with me over the years from many different artists, whether they be lesser known or very well established. I've been giving consideration in terms of the artists I want to feature on that channel. I'm pretty sure I can think of I know I can think of a couple tracks I want to feature Demi Lovato on. So if you're interested in maybe getting my thoughts on some of Demi Lovato's other music, keep your eyes peeled for when that channel unveils itself, as well as, if you're just interested in maybe my thoughts on music overall from artists, again, that I feel are, whether they be, just the songs are really good or the messages are worth exploring and talking about, because, I like analyzing both on this channel. That is something I'm going to be doing at Symphonies and Small Talk, so if you really do like, my music coverage, keep your eyes peeled for when I unveil that channel. Demi Lovato, I do think will make an appearance there, maybe one or two, who knows. But, I can easily think of one. I don't know. I Love Me comes to mind. That song is so good. It's one of my favorites from Demi Lovato. But another solid track. If there's anything new, as I said, I will definitely give it consideration in regards to coverage. But I think, just like Skin on My Teeth, Substance is great addition. Beautiful. I love the style of the track. The words are really good. And the vocal style that Demi Lovato is known for, excellent. It's a good track all around, in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.